Hello, Gator Country fans. I'm Kirsty Hill here with Peter Burns, host of SEC Now, at your first SEC Media Days, taking in all the madness. Only day 2, but how's it been so far?
It is madness. I was going to ask you for a little bit of advice of what I should not be getting into this week, but it's been fantastic. I mean, I grew up in the SEC footprint, grew up in Louisiana, so always knew that LSU fans, Alabama fans, Mississippi fans, Florida fans, they're just so unique because they're so passionate. So this is the 1 week that kind of personifies the kickoff of football season and right in the dead heat of summer. So it's kind of like, all right, it's finally almost here.
My only advice would be to intersperse the Dr. Pepper with some water, or otherwise you just float away.
I was going to say,
on the river of Dr. Pepper.
I saw that over there, and I keep kind of turning around and looking at it, so I'll do that. I work in the water every once in a while.
Now, we do cover the Gators, and we had them here yesterday. They were day 1. Jim McElwain, it was his first SEC Media Days as well, too. You've spent the past year talking to a lot of coaches and a lot of players. How do you think he handled himself?
I think he's fantastic. That's one of the things. I actually spent 4 years in Denver, so I covered McElwain when he was up there in Colorado State in Fort Collins. And that was the one thing that was great about Jim is anytime he came on my show, he was very likable and spoke the truth. A lot of coaches give you a little coach speak and won't really open up, but McElwain doesn't do that. I think that's going to be, I think Gator fans and even just us here at the SEC Network really appreciate him being open and really talking to us about what's going on with this program because, as you know, it's a young program that, hey, the cupboard's a little bit bare, but what are you going to do with it? And he says, hey, we're going to fight like hell to get it done, and right there in the SEC East.
That's really interesting that you spent 4 years with him. We're still getting to know him.
Yeah.
So different from Muschamp. Just they're very different. But that could be a good thing, and I don't know if fans realize that yet.
He's just a country guy. I mean, I asked him about the first concert he ever attended, and it was some Mike Mountain banjo band basically out of Montana.
Who?
Yeah, I mean, some man I had never heard of, and that's just who he is. He's just a blue-collar guy that wants to get to work. And what I saw him do with Colorado State and turn that program from 4-8 to 8-4 to 10-2, and honestly, they could have even gone undefeated that year when he went 10-2, was fantastic. And where he was recruiting kids to in Fort Collins, it's a tough spot to recruit to. And now he gets an opportunity. If he was able to bring incredible talent up to Fort Collins in Colorado, my goodness, what is he going to be able to do in Gainesville? That's the thing that when I saw that job first went open, I had tweeted from my account and over the SEC Network, I'm like, they've got to go after McElwain. McElwain's the perfect fit. So when it came together, I'm thinking, you know what, Florida's on the rise because he's a hell of a coach.
So you saw what he did at Colorado State and the transition there. How feasible is it for Gator fans to expect? They're already wanting to book tickets to Atlanta, but is that feasible in the first year or two?
Well, yeah, they can book tickets to Atlanta. They might not see Florida playing, right? I think you look at a 2-year minimum. I mean, I think the first year you go out there and you're really developing talent. From a player standpoint, it's almost like you're redshirting this year. What you're going to see is him getting used to what talent is still there that Muschamp brought to it, and how quickly can he get talent out there with his type of offense, with Nussmeier, with Jeff Collins, is what he can do and get those guys ready. So I think you're still looking at not this year. There's going to be some growing pains, but the next year, with the way the SEC East is right now, it's wide open. I can't really necessarily say that about the West because the talent level, I think, is still a little bit stronger. But with McElwain coming in, with Butch Jones added to Tennessee, I think the SEC East is getting ready to roar once again.
Well, it should be an exciting year nonetheless. We'll keep you through it here on Gator Country, and Peter Burns will take you through it on the SEC Network. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.